Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to the Monday Project call. It is September 23rd, and we've got a great set of updates coming to you today. Going to open with our calendar. Wednesday, September 25th, we have the Add-ons Community Meetup at 8 a.m. Pacific Time. You can see the wiki for call-in information. I think that's our only calendar item. I'm going to do a quick refresh to see if anything else has come on. Doesn't look like it. With that, we will move on to our speakers, and we have a short list of speakers today, starting off with Josh Matthews coming to us with the Emerging Technologies update in Toronto.
Hello, everybody. I want to let you know that Microsoft has a code editor called VS Code, which is quite popular among developers, and they recently added links in auto-completion pop-ups for people doing CSS and HTML and JavaScript, things like that. They added links in pop-ups to help developers that take them directly to MDN and show them information directly pulled from MDN. So this is getting our content and that web developers appreciate out into the wider audience of web developers. And if you look at the today's posted update, you'll also see some breakdown of demographics of people visiting MDN from all over the world, which is kind of cool. Another neat thing coming from emerging technologies, a factor that goes into training speech recognition based on existing data. You have to have both the audio data and you also have to have the training labeled data that shows what is actually being said in text form so that they can be correlated. And often this can be a tricky thing to find already existing data sets without having to spend money to make your own. But we've been experimenting with building a new technology based on our existing technology, which can do this alignment between labeled data sets and the actual audio data to then create new training data from those, which is a really neat way of using our resources more effectively to get more content to train our speech recognition tools on. And finally, I want to tell you about how our open source codecs are doing and transforming online video. We've been working on AV1 for many years now at this point, and it's getting a lot of popular reception. And in particular, last month at the Mile High Video event, we were on the road and got a lot of people expressing interest in it. We showcased some encoder work that's going on, which means taking video data, turning it into AV1 format, and playing it back in Firefox in the demo case, and demonstrating that we can get video to users at the same level of quality as existing, high quality encoding and decoding that exists out there, but using about half the resources of other leading contenders. So there's a lot of interest. And we're going to be going to further places around the world showing this off as well. So you can read more about it in a blog post that Intel posted, where they're really excited about this too, as well as in the headlines write-up for today. And that is the Emerging Technologies headlines.
Thank you, Josh. Next up, we have Harold coming to us with a DevTools update. Let me get your screen up.
Move the mic. So we got 3 updates from DevTools today in the reign of other VS Code updates from MDN. We also have an update for the Firefox extension in VS Code. So just today, it started being featured on the front page of the marketplace. This has been a tight collaboration with the VS Code team, just like we work on them with other things. This also has been open source for a long time, so this extension has been around, so now we have it properly branded and featured and filled with new features. So hopefully you can try it out and give it a run. So the other piece that just landed in nightly is log on event handlers. It just adds a little checkbox up there, which is really powerful for the web compute team and other teams who have to debug production environments, understanding which click events and keyboard events and other things are added to the page, and especially untangling this mix of things that run in the front end. Also noteworthy, we added, the contributor added the filter element to the event listener, so you can actually go through this whole tree of interesting events and find the right one for you, because the categories aren't always straightforward. And also on Nightly, behind the feature flag currently, listed below, we have watch points, which also work in VS Code, by the way, under a different name. So you can basically pause on access or setting of properties on an object, which is really powerful to understand the flow of debugging, which one of the key aspects of JavaScript debugging is finding when stuff changes and why. And this is basically gets you to the source directly and allows you to understand, react, and the fierce updates that are happening. And that's it for today. Keep on inspecting debugging, profile, and editing.
Thank you, Harold. Next up, we have me coming to you with the weekly Firefox update. On this day, to open, 17 years ago, Phoenix 0.1 was released. That marked the first public availability of the browser that would become eventually known as Firefox after a few name changes. So we're celebrating our sort of public 17-year anniversary there. Firefox 69.0.1 is our current stable release. That dot release shipped last week, September 18th, with several bug fixes, including one that restores accessibility for screen reader users in the add-ons manager, which we unfortunately broke a couple of releases ago. Firefox 70, a big release, is in the beta channel, with beta 9 going out tomorrow and beta 10 going out Friday. There are 14 betas scheduled for this cycle, so we're about 2/3 of the way through. Firefox 70 ships to our stable release on October 22nd. Firefox 71 is in the nightly channel, and over the last week there have been about 400 bug fixes, including these notable ones. CSS column span got turned on for the nightly channel, so a lot of people have been looking forward to that one. It's in nightly only. We'll see how that goes. Firefox can now import logins from Chrome on Mac OS. This is a nice fix. Firefox also supports hardware media keys on macOS, so you can use your play, pause, forward, and back buttons on your keyboard to manage your web media. The protection report now has a pretty animation for the main protections chart. It shows your columns growing as you load the screen. Firefox Accounts menu on the main toolbar has a submenu for accounts that allows you to manage your account and sign out easily. And last but not least, the Logins Manager now has searching by password. So if you're one of those people who reuses passwords and you found out one of your passwords was exposed in a data breach through the Firefox Monitor service, now you can go into the Password Manager and search for that password and get a list of all of the sites you've used it for, so you can go update those passwords. And in the future, hopefully that will have taught you your lesson and you won't be reusing passwords as much. That's the Firefox update for this week. Going to reload to see if anything else has come on the agenda, and it doesn't look like it. So with that, we move into the closing portion of our meeting, where we say hello to some new Mozillians. And first up, we've got Chris in the San Francisco office with an introduction.
Hello, I'm here to introduce Ricky Stewart. Ricky Stewart will be joining the engineering workflow team working on the build system with myself. Give everyone a warm welcome to Ricky.
And next up, Joe Fish with an introduction.
Good morning. I would like to take advantage of this opportunity to introduce Alex Williams. Alex Williams is a PhD student at the University of Waterloo, where he's finishing up his PhD and finishing up this year. He'll be working half-time for us as an intern as he's finishing that up, and he will be working from South Carolina. He'll be working with the voice team, figuring out what we do next with Firefox Voice. So please join me in welcoming Alex.
Welcome, Alex. It was a quick one today. We're all finished for the week. We'll see you next week, same time, same place. Until then, keep on rocking the free web.